There are two tools that we'll install that are focused on email. The first is a spam filter called Proofpoint, and the second is a phishing filter called Iron Scales. And we'll look at both of those now. Let me pull up my Outlook. So every day you're going to receive a quarantine email message. It's going to look something like this. It'll be from ACS support, and it'll say Proofpoint Essentials Quarantine Digest. This is a summary of all the messages that were blocked for your mailbox that day. This will accumulate. So after so many days, messages that are in this quarantine will just fall out. They'll be essentially deleted automatically. There will occasionally be a good message that shows up in your spam filter. That's just the nature of spam filters. We'll do what we can to keep the good messages from getting quarantined, but occasionally they will. In this example, I only have one email that was sent and called as spam, and you see that here. So every morning I look at my spam report and I look for any good messages. There are 4 things that you can do to each message. You can preview the message, you can release it to your inbox. You can release it to your inbox and you can then approve the sender, whitelist the sender, or you can block your message. So essentially, you don't have to block every email message that's caught as spam. It kind of does it for you. So I never click this block button. After so many days, that message will fall off of your quarantine report. It doesn't matter anyway because it's not a good message. If we click preview, then we have the ability to look at the message in more detail. This is what the message would look like. It looks a little different than if it were in your Outlook. Images are gone, for example, but we have a few options. We can release it, the same items that we looked at just a second ago: release and approve, which releases the message to your inbox and it whitelists the sender. We can block it, which I just said we really don't need to waste our time doing. And if there were images here, I would be able to see them. There really aren't any images in this message, I don't believe. So nothing shows, but otherwise you would see the images that were there. So I'm going to go back to my report itself. Again, we don't need to log into an account here. You can do everything from this message, and then only react to messages that you believe are good messages. So if there was the subject here was, some kind of a coupon that was a spam message, you don't need to do anything with it. Just move on to the next one. And after you've skimmed them for the day, then you don't need to look at your spam filter anymore until the next day, unless you're expecting a message. So I mentioned earlier, with a spam filter, they're very important, probably one of the most important tools that we can deploy for you, because it catches a lot of bad mail that have malicious attachments, bad links, etc. It takes out the vast majority of those. But in doing that, it can occasionally catch a good message. It's just the nature of the beast. So we have to look through these just to make sure that there's not a good message in there. If you are expecting a purchase order, for example, then you may need to sign into your account so you can look at the log itself. And we'll do that. We'll do that right now. So if you were to click sign into your account, you would enter your normal email, username and password, and you would log into a screen that looks something like this. So this is an accumulation of all those spam messages. I can put in the time frame. I know that message came through on the 29th, and let's just run it for a month, I guess, here. Click apply, and then search. And then here's that same message we've been looking at. So this is just another way to manage your spam messages. The options we have here are essentially the same. Let's see. This doesn't give you the easy way to release it, so I would go back. Here we go. We can release it from the quarantine, release and approve, exactly the same thing that we could do earlier. But we also have the ability to do a quick email preview here. It's just another way of looking at your spammed messages. You really don't need to look at this unless you're looking for something specific. I have the ability to search who the message came from. It's to is going to be to me. But the from, let's say I was expecting an email from Bob over at, a company. I could search that from here, or I could search from, a keyword in the subject line. Most people don't really have to mess with this, but that is an option. And again, you get there by clicking the sign into your account. The email and password are the same as your, the username and password are the same as your email account. All right, so that's the spam filter. That's probably the most interactive tool that we have for you. The second thing we install is something called a phishing filter. This system is specifically designed to look for phishing emails. The other cool feature here is it will let you know when an email that you receive is from someone that this is the first time they are sending you the message. So this person sent me an email. IronScale says, hey, we couldn't recognize this email as this is the first time you've received an email from this person Samantha. Okay, so why is that important? So this is a really, really important, thing to think about here. Everyone knows the spoofing emails where it looks like it comes from your boss and he's asking you to do a wire transfer, or he's asking you to go get iTunes gift cards, or whatever the scenario. If you haven't experienced it, I'm sure you've probably at least heard about it. If I got this message and it was from my boss that said, hey, Robbie, I need you to go get, do this wire transfer. And at the top of the message, I have this note, then I know something is off because I've gotten emails from my boss before. Why is that here? That's a great clue that you are looking at a phishing email. So that's the most important element in this system, is that this will let you know when it's the first time you're receiving an email from a person. If it's a normal email, let's say that this really is the first time this person's sending me the message, and it is truly a real message, a good mail. It's just saying, hey, be a little extra careful that this is the first time you've gotten it. Just make sure that things are good. So that's another really important feature. The other thing that I'll show you from IronScales is this message that says, hey, this was reported as malicious by your coworkers. So sometimes the spam filter is not going to catch every bad email. Let's say one gets through and you suspect that it's a spam message. You can actually go up into Outlook. You have a button here where you're able to report it as a phishing message. So you click the button. So this is, I forwarded it to myself, so I'm not able to report it as phishing. So I forwarded it to this demo account. But you're able to click that button, and you're able to deem a message as potentially a phishing email. That gets reported back to us, and we're able to take a look at it and see. So that's IronScales. Pretty much runs in the background. It just displays these messages in your email and gives you the opportunity to report a phishing message. If a message comes into you, there's a good possibility that it's come to your coworkers as well. IronScales, once it's determined that that email really is phishing, a phishing attempt, it will pull the message back from your coworkers as well. So a really cool tool that is very helpful to prevent spam messages. I want to show you one in particular here that is really important. And again, I just forwarded this to myself, so this is what you would see. This is an email that looks like it's coming from Microsoft telling me about a password notification, a password notice. But notice that IronScales threw up this message, hey, it doesn't recognize this mail. It's the first time it's being sent to me. And look at the email address that the sender has. There is no way that this email is affiliated with Microsoft, right? So that's a great indication. That's telling me that this is a phishing email. We don't want to mess with this at all. So another way that Iron Scales kind of tells you that, hey, you got to be on alert. There's something screwy about this email. And in this case, it's just making it very crystal clear that this is the first time that I'm getting an email from this person or this entity. You've probably gotten email messages from Microsoft before, whether they're marketing messages or whatever. So another great indication that you got a problem here. So Proofpoint, that's your spam filter. You're going to get a report every day. Be sure to spend some time looking at that report. And then Iron Scales, another important tool that gives you the idea or gives you, it prompts you to be on alert about a particular message. So those are the two email tools that we'll deploy, and those two will be definitely the most interactive tools that you have to work with. If you have any questions about those, feel free to shoot over a trouble